What's up, everyone? We are back. We are live, and it is the Showdown breakdown. Thursday night action. Rams at the 49ers. Bobby Millions back with me to break it all down. You weren't here on Monday, Bobby. Wow.
I know. I missed it. I was so sad.
You missed the good one.
So sad. It's like, I don't know. It's like missing a special occasion.
Yeah. It's like Thanksgiving and Bobbywow wasn't there.
Yeah.
The hell? You missed me taking down the tournaments on both FanDuel and DraftKings.
Look at that.
A little tie fest. I wanted to show everybody. This is what it looks like on FanDuel when you win the tournament and still barely make any money. This is a $450 to enter to max out contest. First place only worth $161. And so you barely squeak away from this contest with a minor little bitty baby profit. And this is one of the reasons why I always talk about multipliers and other contest types, especially multipliers like 10x multipliers, being a better forum for making money. Not just, I don't really do it as ton for showdowns, but just in general DFS. And this is one of those things, you win and you don't make anything. That's when it's a relatively obvious, I guess, lineup. The nut play was Turpin. The nut turd. So
Turpin,
we're going to try to figure out who the
6 points.
Yeah, with 3.6. That's how it goes. We're going to try to figure out the nut turd for Thursday night, right here and right now, Bobby. Wow.
Yes, we are.
All right. So big game, big news in this game. I guess the main piece of news is really Garendo. That's it. Is will he or won't he? Is Garendo going to play? This is really a situation that season-long fantasy football people are trying to figure out. If you're in the playoffs, Patrick Taylor is available. Like, man, should I get him? Should I spend the FOB? Yeah, you probably should. If you're watching this, probably should. We don't know if Garendo is going to play or not, so you should fucking grab this guy if you can. And by the way, if you lose in the fantasy playoffs, then you're out anyway, so you didn't need to save the FOB.
Right.
Spend it.
Can't take the FOB with you to heaven. Yep.
No, can't take it with you to fantasy heaven or hell, as they say when you lose. Only winners go to heaven. So will he, won't he? I don't know. So we're going to
the other thing is,
it all.
If he does, right, how healthy is he? Is he going to re-injure that? It's an ankle sprain, right? That's a pretty big deal as a running back.
Yeah, it's not. If he does play, will he play a full workload?
Right.
It always makes things weird. But let's take a look at what the usage was last week for the 49ers. So just sliding on down here, Garendo played a lot of the game, 55% of snaps, but it was Taylor working his way in, and Garendo played the game healthy. This was not an injury, which tells me that if it is Patrick Taylor, he will get a bulk of the workloads type work share, I think.
Yes, agreed.
Okay. That's what I think. I think like if he's the starter, if Garendo's ruled out, we're going to load up. Garendo saying he's fine, that they held him. I mean, there you go. So if that's the case, then we are going to be pretty core play on Garendo here. Like he's the man, and it's that simple. So that's good to know. Thank you, Tebow Time, for that. Rolling on, the 49ers are a really simple and easy to understand team. They do not really do a lot with turds, and that makes them an easy team to figure out. Take a look at the screen if you could see it. They've got an 85% snap count for George Kittle. Salbert got a target last week, but he is barely used. And then at wide receiver, Jawan Jennings and Deebo getting the bulk of the snaps with Ricky Pearsall kind of backing him up. And then I truly feel that they bring in Chris Conley to block. Like, I don't think he's in there to catch a pass. They don't throw it to him. He's got a 24% snap count. Just a blocker out there, Bobbywow.
And let's not forget too, the last week was a blowout. So maybe they were, he was extra blocking a little bit extra as running the football toward the end. Like, this guy's not here. Like you mentioned, didn't get a single target last week.
The way the 49ers play, they are not going to turds. The only turd I would say who's viable is, and he doesn't even show up on the matchup sheet because he doesn't have a position, is the Juice. Child Juice check. That's a lie because he's the fullback. We don't give respect to the fullback here on the matchup sheet. But he's that live turd. But for the most part, San Francisco is really easy to understand. And Jawan Jennings has been en fuego in spots like
he has.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week, too, on Tournament Tactics. Perfect prime week to target him against the Bears, who had struggled against WR2, WR3 types forever, really. And he's smashed.
Absolutely crushed it.
I think the question to ask, on the 49ers side is, will this finally be a week where Deebo Samuel becomes more involved? And I'm hesitant to say yes, because it's not like this is the squeaky wheel narrative with A.J. Brown, where A.J. Brown gets mad, and all of a sudden next week he's got 50 targets, 3 touchdowns. Deebo's been squeaky the whole season. I just don't think Deebo is right.
Something's off about Deebo. He has had a terrible year. Could he turn around at any moment? Sure, of course. Like, I don't know. But if he's on your see, those of you who are like me, okay, and have Deebo on like some fantasy teams, he's on a lot of my dynasty squads. You've suffered all year with this guy. Suffered. Yes. It's been pain and suffering. He's been terrible. Yeah, he's been terrible. Let's take a look at the Rams here. Fucking love the Rams. You know what we have going on here with these two teams, Bobbywow? We have two teams. This is the same thing as Monday night. I was able to when these slates look like this, these are very winnable. The problem is you're going to be with a lot of people when you're right. But both the Rams and the 49ers are not turdly teams. By that I mean they don't feature players that you've never heard of. It's not a common way that they play the game. Right. The Rams are throwing it to Puka. They're throwing it to Cooper Kupp. And every once in a while, you're like, who's that guy? And it's DeMarcus Robinson or Tutu Atwell, but they barely do anything. Let's take a look at the numbers here for the Rams. Kyren Williams back up. I mean, he's been doing this. So this is not really a change. 85% snap count last week and for the season.
Yep.
He gets all the work. Note that the target percentage for Kyren, it's lower last week than it is for the season, and the seasonal number has been monster declining because they're just, ever since Puka and Cooper Kupp returned, they're just not throwing to the running back almost at all. That massively lowers the floor for Kyren, where earlier this season, to me, Kyren was one of the higher floor players in the entire NFL between the red zone usage and the passing game usage. And now it's gone reverse. He is really not being thrown to at all. And the touchdowns have come down quite a bit. They've been thrown for touchdowns. So Kyren, still a great player, all that. But note, I think more importantly to note, we don't really have to give too much mind to these other guys outside of a Kyren gets hurt situation.
No, and for what it's worth too, I mean, these two teams matched up earlier this season, and Kyren took it to the 49ers. Like this is a 49ers team you actually can run the football against. The Bears struggled last week. I think that's more of a Bears thing. The last, 5 of the last 6 running backs have put up really solid scores against this 49er defense. Kyren scored 3 touchdowns when they played earlier this season. 2 on the ground, 1 through the air.
But they didn't have
they didn't have Puka and Cooper Kupp healthy. But again, I'm just saying, Kyren scored 2 touchdowns last week. He has been more involved again near the goal line. It feels like that mix is kind of coming back to the middle again. So certainly a viable option at captain and MVP this week. No doubt about it.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the turdly parts of this team, it has to be the tight end position for the Rams. Earlier this season, we kind of thought that Colby Parkinson was getting this role of being the guy. And that kind of shifted back and forth, and now it's just a mess. Last week, Colby Parkinson, 50% of the snaps, with Davis Allen and Hunter Long working in each 25-ish% snap counts. Yeah, none of them got targets.
No, I think the important thing here is there are some injuries to the tight end position here. I think Madness wrote in his notes, Parkinson's the only healthy tight end right now in the room. So if Allen were to miss, that does elevate Parkinson into consideration and as a flex option. But yes, it's been very turtly across the board at the tight end position.
And again, he was seeing some targets, I guess, when the other guys, when all the wide receivers were out. But then they were like, this guy's not that guy. I don't think Colby Parkinson's a great pass catching tight end. I think that's the problem.
Whatever happened to their tight end? Who is I'm blanking on his name now.
They had the guy they've had for years.
Higbee. Yeah. What happened to Higbee?
Higbee Smalls is on the IR.
He's still hurt, man.
Yeah. He's he's just not coming back this year. He designated to return. I mean, listen, I'm not worried about Higbee. Fuck Higbee for tomorrow. If he even comes back, I don't care. I'm not going to mess with
Tyler Higbee.
So you could see here again, Puka and Cooper Kupp, 80%, all the targets. They just suck up all the targets on this team. They're so good. Puka especially, right? They're just such good players, and they soak up all the targets. DeMarcus Robinson
Higbee was ruled out, by the way. Higbee's practicing full, but ruled out this week.
Don't
even worry about it.
Yeah, let's not complicate this one anymore. The only guy. So this is interesting. DeMarcus Robinson has a bunch of touchdowns on the year. He cannot be ignored, even though he does not get heavy targeting. And Tutu Atwell plays. He's on the field. 10% target share for Tutu Atwell in the season. So that's it, though. That's it. No one else.
Those are your turds on the Rams side of the ball.
Effectively, if you look at this game in its entirety, there's 6 turds that are viable. Juszczyk, I'll just run through it. You got Juszczyk, Tutu Atwell,
Colby Parkinson.
I was going to say Rams tight end. Okay, let's call Colby Parkinson. That's 3. On the 49er side, besides Juszczyk, it might only be like a Ricky Pearsall, and I don't even know if he's third priced. That's it. This is a straightforward.
Below the kickers. I think below the kicker range is more like what we call it this week.
Yeah. There's just not that much going on. So it sets up really interesting. Let's take a look at the cheat sheet and see. Of course, lots and lots of potential captain plays on this sheet. I kind of want to scroll to the turd part of it. And Hunter Long. So I guess Davis Allen with a Q tag. Maybe Hunter Long at 200. Colby Parkinson 1,600 price point is pretty good.
That's worthy if Allen's out.
Juszczyk at 2K. I think Juszczyk will get some work. 2K is a lot. It's a big sort of number to pay off on. And then Tutu Atwell, and that's it. So to me, this is oh my goodness, look at the price on Patrick Taylor. They got aggressive. Where's Garendo? 8,400. Okay. All right. So let's jump over and let's talk about potential captains on this slate, Bobbywow.
Okay, let's do it.
It's still before ownership projections. I don't have them. So
just one other thing to throw in there while you're on the Juszczyk Patrick Taylor topic. I do think we see potentially another, target or carry, maybe a couple more opportunities for Juszczyk if Garendo for some reason doesn't play. I think Juszczyk is a little bit more involved.
Way more interested in Juszczyk without Garendo. If Garendo plays, I'm kind of not interested in Juszczyk at 2K at all.
Yeah, agreed.
Other than the miracle turd touchdown scenario, it's not a Hunter Luepke play like on Monday. On Monday, I said Hunter Luepke, one of my favorites, and I called him a punt. And actually, people DM'd asking what do you mean by the word punt? And when we say the word punt, what I meant is a really cheap player that I don't expect to have a good score at all, but I think he'll have a score greater than 0, and that might be enough. And that's what we got from Luepke. He got a 1.6, and that was all you needed from a $400 player.
Right. It's a little different at 2K with Juszczyk, right? Where he probably will get 1 or 2 points, but that would not be enough.
Juszczyk almost always catches a pass most games, but a reception for 12 yards, then that 2.5, that's not going to do it at 2. That'll do it for 400 or 200. That doesn't do it for 2K. That's the difference. He needs to actually get in the end zone, but he can do it.
He's done it once this season.
Yeah, he runs routes. He'll get an air yards pass every once in a while. He could have a 30 yards in the air throw that he will catch on the run. I've seen him do it. So they throw that pass to him. Let's talk about potential. I think Puka has got to be everybody's favorite guy. If you're going to pay up, that's the guy that you're excited to pay up for. He's so good.
You are paying up. You are paying up.
I'm not sure you can like. Well, the way the slate sets up. Look, they priced up the studs again to where everybody is pretty much 8K and up. So you're not going to be able to afford a lot of these guys, and we will have to kind of figure out a cheapie to make it work. It's just no other way. But if you start with Puka, he's your favorite. Fine. Cooper Kupp, I would say slightly less good, but still good.
He could absolutely get it done. No doubt about that. Kyren Williams, also another guy that could absolutely get it done here if the game turns out to be a little bit lower scoring.
And then Garendo. If Garendo's starting,
Garendo absolutely could get it done here. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And he's cheap, right?
He
relatively
is a
cheap compared to the rest of the guys.
He's cheap compared to the rest. A Garendo start leaves you 7,500 per position. You're going to need it. We're going to have to have kickers, something. Moody has been a really good kicking scorer.
I'll put you in a great spot, though. Garendo at captain really gives you some flexibility.
But even that's not enough. You're still going to have to live down here in kickers, defenses, or a turd, which is going to be very uncomfortable. Yeah, based on everything I can see, there's no version of lineups that we're going to be able to put together that almost doesn't require that we play one of these guys. And they're very, 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 very soft turds here at best. So if you had to pay down for one guy, Bobbywow, between all the names that we mentioned, Parkinson, Juszczyk, Tutu.
It's Colby. If I'm paying down, it's Colby Parkinson.
Oh man, it is such a gross one. One target a game for this
again, and I'm kind of assuming Allen's not going to play. If Allen plays, he's just as ugly as the rest. But
yeah, what's the best captain play for single entry with the highest upside to take it down? I mean, we're always balancing salary here against upside. I think your best bet is Juwan Jennings. If you didn't want to go with a Puka, if you wanted to get away, I don't know, Bobby, what do you think? If you want to get away from paying, I think it is Puka, by the way. He is going to be the most likely guy to score the most points.
It's Puka. Yeah. I mean,
but that doesn't mean he's the most likely guy to help you win the tournament with, but yeah.
Now, again, who cares, what happened 9-10 weeks ago? But, Jennings has been getting it done recently, and against the same Rams team earlier this season, Jennings put up a 50 burger. So, to your point, Jennings is certainly in play as a guy who has some upside here.
Yeah, and actually, come think of it, as the chat is mentioning, I would put, I think George Kittle, Kenneth saying it, I think George Kittle is okay too. He's had big games. He tends to do better in certain spots, but I'm not sure this is that. When everyone's healthy, I tend to like not Kittle as much. But
now, is a question for you, Kev? Is Kyle Shanahan the type of coach that will shut down the opposing team's best weapon? Like, is he gonna send the defensive unit? Is he gonna kind of concentrate and focus them around Puka? This kind of like Belichick did, when Belly was around, he would take out the best weapon on the opposing offense. Is Shanahan that guy?
He's not known. He doesn't have that reputation per se. That was a specific reputational thing. I would like to see previous Rams 49ers games, but I don't think you can do that. They didn't play this year, but I don't think
not when Puka was healthy. They played week 3 or 4.
Yeah, but Puka was out. It's not a Puka game, but I don't think you can do that with the Rams, because who's to say that Puka, just because we're fantasy football enthusiasts and we think Puka is the man, other coaches look at Cooper Kupp as equal to Puka. I don't see them scheming to take him out, because Cooper is basically the same. No, I think Puka Nacua will be great. I think Cooper Kupp is going to be very good. One of these two will outscore the other.
Kupp is a very interesting pivot off of Puka.
Yes,
he hasn't demonstrated the upside to this point yet, but Kupp will have his game. It's coming.
Yeah. Now, if you're playing Puka as a captain, how do you feel about Cooper Kupp being in there as a flex?
It's tough. It's tough because of what it does to your salary, right? Because you're probably going to want to consider Stafford in there. If Puka's captain, he's probably scoring multiple touchdowns, right? Or he's putting up 200 yards. You probably want Stafford in there if Puka's in there.
Yeah.
It's tough though, man. I don't think it's not. You can't.
I feel like no. I feel like
Garendo and Jennings, right?
Let's see.
Or Kittle and Garendo.
I mean, yeah, you could build a nice lineup. So like,
you can build close.
It almost gets you to Kupp also, but it got you Purdy or Stafford. Purdy has not been great. You can get Deebo Samuel in there, but I mean,
God, Deebo is cheap.
Oh. I mean, he's just been horrible.
He's been turtle. He's been so bad.
Look at these target numbers. Look at the target. Why don't they throw to him? What happened?
He doesn't get open. He's dropping the ball. He doesn't get open.
I don't know. Something's not passing the sniff test with Deebo. He's had all season, hasn't done shit.
Did you see Twitter community notes? Taking him down today.
Oh, no, man. What happened?
He said something about like not getting the football, and then Twitter community notes was basically like, "Well, you've got this many drops, and you don't get open." And it was
bad. But wait, he did some squeaky wheel stuff this week. I did not see that.
He did. Yeah, today. I think it was today.
Hold up. I am a believer. In the squeaky wheel.
But what if the wheel's squeaky every week? He's been squeaky for
he hasn't squeaked
forever.
I haven't heard the squeaks.
He got in a spat with his the place holder or whatever, the kicker.
That's
I can't
a whole
remember.
other thing. If you complain to the coach, I'm not getting enough. Yeah, I was telling you this before we started. If you have Deebo in your fantasy league, you played him every week. It like ruined your team. He ruined my teams this year. Really disappointed in Deebo Samuel's performances. But I do like the squeaky wheel narrative, Bobbywow. That is, I am a fan of that. I think that works.
No, you are. Yeah, I think Deebo deleted the tweet.
Oh, he deleted. Yeah. And I don't need him getting handoffs either. I need him, but he might score. He could rush for a touchdown. You know what? You want to try to win a tournament? Deebo is the guy that you got to get in there.
Yes.
Like absolutely. That's how you win a tournament, dude. No 100%. One's going to play Deebo. They all fucking hate him. He's been terrible all year. And if he just has that one traditional Deebo game where he puts up 28, he's going to break this slate and you're not going to have to share it with anyone.
And do you know best case for Deebo? When Deebo gets it done, it is when Garendo either doesn't play or goes out early with an injury, because Deebo he'll be working to the backfield not only as a runner, not only getting carries, but they will dump the ball off to him, 6-7 times out of the backfield. And that's where he's at his most dangerous. Yeah, definitely. So you can't make a full lineup here because we're dealing with a situation where we don't know if Garendo's going to play. I would just take this exact version though. So if I have Deebo in there, I'm not going to play Jennings. I'm going to play Puka. Parkinson out too.
Yeah, I don't need this turd. I'm going to play Puka. Garendo, again, kicker. Could play maybe by the way, a defense is perfectly acceptable here too. 49ers defense, very playable. Very playable. Pearsall's helped me win a tournament this season already. 2 tournaments. How about something like this? I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm probably trying my absolute best to get up to either Kupp or Williams in that scenario. I think this could be a slate where quarterbacks are left out.
Really?
It could be. Just because of the PPR craziness, right? You got Kyren Williams scoring 2 touchdowns last week. You got Kupp and Puka who could easily both catch 10 passes here. PPR alone, I mean.
I don't know. I'm kind of liking this. With 49ers defense in there, this could win $1 million.
There you go. Yeah, Kupp and Puka get all their PPR points, 100-yard bonus. Maybe one of them finds the end zone. I don't see why not.
Yeah. I think more importantly, the takeaway, I hope people aren't looking at a lineup and thinking that's like, I'm going to have 170 of those.
No, this is a tougher one.
It's not tough. It's just like there's not that many turds. I actually think the play here is we know who the studs are. We know Puka's going to smash. We know 49ers running back is going to smash. Like, you cannot fade those things. 49ers running back is going to smash. Puka,
you know who's going
or Cooper,
you know who's going to be overlooked? Kyren Williams will be overlooked on this slate more than anyone else.
Yeah. Kyron's the least sexy. Let's take a look real quick. You know what? You just reminded me. Let's take a look what the props say about these guys. Okay. Prop-based projections right here versus ours. So, the props love Brock Purdy. That is noteworthy. It's interesting. Yeah. The props really love Brock Purdy today. Oh, wait, You can't see it because I'm blocking it with my fucking head. Hold on.
Wow. That's big. That's 2+. That's
I haven't even seen that kind of discrepancy between the prop and a projection. That's really interesting. Let's see here. Matthew Stafford, it likes a little bit more. Kyren Williams is solid.
The same.
I mean, look at these numbers.
Everyone's favorite with the props.
Deebo getting a much better prop. How about this?
That's the most variant I've ever seen. 2.15, 2.2.
Yeah, this is unusual. So all right, how about this? Let me explain to the people at home. I'm not even sure they can visually see this screen because it might be too small. So I'm not sure. So I'm going to tell you what's going on here. If we look at the props for Deebo Samuel, they've got him for actually 16 rushing yards, 4.2 receptions, 51 receiving yards, and 0.47 touchdowns. That's just like you could bet these things.
Yep.
These are the props. So if you think that this number is too high, if you think Deebo sucks now, you could bet the unders on all of these things. These are bettable props. We're able to bet the unders on this. So if you don't believe it, bet the unders. But because I'm looking at our projection, 11.64, that means that'll be kind of industry. I don't think he's going to be high owned. I think he's going to be very low owned. And he'll be lower owned than his prop projection probably calls for. That's all I'm saying.
God, man. You know something absolutely insane? Deebo has rarely been, I know there's a showdown. He's been priced under 9K twice. It was both 8,800. This is far and away, the cheapest Deebo has been. It's not even close.
Yeah.
He is the ultimate pivot here. Deebo and I think Kyren to a degree.
I don't love Kyren. Again, Kyren needs so many touchdowns to get there.
Or he just needs one of those, 5 or 6 target games.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he just hasn't been seeing that. Again, the challenge is these guys are competing in price with like some of the great. Kyren he's just right between Puka and Kupp. Puka and Kupp are such great fantasy assets. It's almost hard for them not to score 20. And for Kyren, he's got a pathway to get to 20. They're averaging, Puka's averaging 20.5 in games that he plays. Kupp is right behind him at 20 points. And Kyren, he was averaging that, but lately he's really struggling to get there. 23. So he did get there in the last game, but 2 touchdowns to get there.
Yep.
So a 23 from Kyren, that's kind of his towards the best side if they're not going to throw to him.
Yeah. If Deebo's ownership is low, that's the place to go.
It's going to be low. It's going to be
that will be the place to go.
Unless we're fucking that up right now.
7,600. That's significantly cheaper than he's ever been. And the next closest guy that's actually playable on the slate is the kicker, Moody. Like that is where the gap hit. It's just, oh my God.
Now, let's say for some reason Garendo doesn't play. Then Patrick Taylor becomes a pretty lock button here at 11K as well for slightly cheaper. I'd rather play Garendo.
Yeah.
Despite operating a short week, the 49ers are keeping the door open if he's unable to go. So as of this second, this blurb, it's not clear.
He hasn't
tomorrow,
practiced yet.
JM, just to be clear, don't think this is tonight. It is tomorrow. But is there a path for Deebo? Fuck yeah, there is.
Yes, there absolutely is.
Hell yeah.
In fact, we saw this last year. Deebo was struggling, and we called a game of his. We said all the ingredients are there for Deebo, and he popped off as the cat. He scored like 40 points. Same thing happened last year.
Yeah. By the way, I don't think there's any special reason why he will go off today, other than
I agree.
Squeaky wheel. There's no matchup based reasoning here.
Correct.
It's just like they need to throw to this guy. I mean, they're still fighting for a playoff spot. I think they remain alive for the playoffs. They're fighting for that
and
spot.
We talked about it. I do think a Guerrero out boosts Deebo as well. I really do. Guerendo's out, Deebo becomes even more. But there's that on paper is an advantage for Deebo.
Sadly, I don't think Guerrero will be out.
No, not sadly, but
it's sadly for me because I'm trying to pick up some. I need.
Did he practice today?
You know what? I don't know. Can somebody find out?
Practice yet?
Do we have any information? Somebody in the chat, Tebow Time before said that Guerrero said he wanted to play. Blah blah blah.
Of course he wants to play.
But replacement players always want to play.
Oh, good news on Guerrero.
Yeah, today's Wednesday, guys. These games are for tomorrow. Oh no, this is the wrong slate. He
still hasn't practiced yet.
He hasn't practiced?
No, limited. They said limited participation on Wednesday. So maybe he's gonna go.
That sounds like he's gonna play. Can you play Taylor with Deebo if Isaac is out? No. Unfortunately, you cannot play Taylor and Deebo together. It's one or the other. They priced Taylor as a starter, so that eliminates playing them together. The score Taylor would have to put up as a backup. Like you play Taylor.
Well, if Isaac is out. He's saying Taylor with Deebo if Isaac is out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think fine.
It's not my favorite, but it's playable.
But it's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry. All right, let's shift gears to FanDuel real quick and take a look at FanDuel. Reminder that FanDuel rewards quarterbacks and running backs above how it rewards wide receivers. That being said, that FanDuel winner I showed you before had Jamar Chase at captain because Jamar Chase is the kind of player that can ascend his own quarterback having the style of game that he had on Monday. But that is very unusual. Oh, so y'all's Killicam just wants to know in the end. We like Killicam, and I know your mindset. I know how you think. I think the answer is Deebo.
The answer is Deebo.
No ownership. You're probably going to lose. But
if you're trying to take the tournament down, it's Deebo.
Yeah.
Far and away.
He will help you win the tournament if he does his thing. And if he doesn't, you weren't winning shit anyway, so who cares? Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we lose most of the time. Who cares? I think Deebo's the best guy. If everybody was healthy, I think Guerrero is great for his price. And I think Puka is the guy who's most likely to score the most DraftKings points on the slate of any player.
Yep.
Take that information, make a lineup with it. That would be my guesstimates for how the game goes.
I'm in full agreement.
Shifting gears to FanDuel, though. So, it's tempting. We want to really play running backs and quarterbacks at captain. And then, you can slide a wide receiver in there if they're a touchdown machine. So I don't mind. I'll have a little bit of Cooper and Puka in there. I'll have a little bit of Cooper Kupp and Puka. A little bit. I think Kyron is very viable. Both Purdy and Stafford.
Just to shout it out. Madness in his notes has Brock Purdy in the flex on FanDuel as core. He loving Purdy just like Vegas.
Yeah, notice that. Yeah, Vegas really loves Purdy in this game. I think it's because. Excuse me. I think it's because. Do you think it's because they feel that San Francisco is kind of nicked at the running back spot, so they feel that Purdy will throw for more touchdowns than he usually does?
Maybe, or the Rams they've just been solid against the run for the most part. Outside of the Eagles game, they haven't allowed a big score to a running back since week 4 against the Bears. The Rams have been really solid against the run.
Yeah. I love this, by the way, because it's funny because everybody who Deebo burned a lot of people. Deebo was one of these players that you had to start every week in your fantasy league. You couldn't bench him either. And so it was this just horrific nightmare. I'd much rather have a Quentin Johnston that I'll just give the fuck up on after 1 week and all right, you suck, get out of here. Deebo forced you to keep playing him. And that was brutal. So, all right, looking at FanDuel, I think who like top captain to me would be Garendo if he's healthy. Or either of the quarterbacks, obviously Stafford and Purdy. It'd be. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's Kyron or Stafford or Purdy for me. Just the Rams have actually been pretty dang good against running backs. They shut down Alvin Kamara a couple weeks ago. They shut down James Cook. They shut down Ramondre. They shut down Achane. They shut down Kenneth Walker. They shut down Aaron Jones. Like they've been very good against running backs.
Rushing yards. Okay. Here it is. I'm trying to understand why Purdy is getting such a better projection. Purdy projects for some rushing yards, 22.
2 pass TDs.
Yeah, well, the same touchdowns, similar yardage. So I'm like, wow, these numbers are really different. Like the FanDuel projection is super different. I was trying to figure out why. And it's because Purdy runs a little bit, or they have him projected for rushing for 22 yards, and they give him a 0.22 kind of touchdown rush for a touchdown prop here, where Stafford effectively gets a 0 rush for a touchdown prop and no rushing yards whatsoever. Like Stafford, the over-under for his rushing yards is half a yard. So that's the big difference between these two projection-wise. So it's like, I don't want to kill Stafford over this, but Purdy projects better because he's going to run, or he usually runs for a few yards. I just wanted to really get a sense of why that is. Let me take a look at his logs here. Yeah, 40, 17, 56. So yeah, you know what? Did you know Purdy rushes as much as this? I'm a little surprised just looking at it. I don't know why I've never really taken note of it.
It's kind of the same with him and Drew Lock. I think we talked about over the weekend. Rushes quite a bit more than people think.
Yeah, sneak him in there. Well, 56, 40. I'm like, because I'm looking at the 22 rushing yard prop. I'm like, that seems high, but it's not. No, it's about right. And he does score a touchdown. He's rushed for 4 touchdowns on the season. So it absolutely makes sense why Purdy is projected better. I think he's a good starting point. I would build my lineup like this: Garendo, Purdy. I would have all these guys in there, even Stafford. Right? You can get Kyron in there. Down to 7K. Doesn't really. Let's see. I mean, this is definitely winning the tournament. But who can I leave out? Right? So if I leave out Kyron Williams,
you get Cooper Kupp in there and you get 8,500. You could play a defense. You could play Moody.
I could throw Kupp in. Jennings or Kittle and Jennings.
The only thing I don't love a ton is Purdy and Garendo.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Well, for a cash lineup, I would do it Purdy.
Cash lineup, yeah.
Yeah, like for a, hey, I want to put make a tournament, a lineup that finishes in the money or a 10Xer. I don't mind playing them together. I do love Jennings as well. George Kittle, though, I wouldn't. That Garendo, Jennings, and Kittle together, that's too many. So at that point, you really want to get to someone else. The other thing here is Jake Moody has been an elite kicker this season. He's really good. Did we say you can play Deebo and Isaac or Taylor in the same lineup?
You can.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, I think it's fine together. The Deebo thing is really just he's scored touchdowns, and he will. It's not great for Garendo, but it's the 49ers. They could score 5 touchdowns in this game. Look what happened with the Bills and the Rams last week. This game has potential to elevate into something crazy. Yes. Let me be very clear on this one, guys. This game might elevate into a goat rodeo of fantasy production. That's right. I busted out a word. You never even heard that shit. A goat rodeo. I'm not even fully sure what it means, but I hear this dude talk about it. It's like when chaos ensues, this is a goat rodeo.
A goat rodeo.
Yeah. Like a goat rodeo. What the fuck is that? Right? This could be a goat rodeo, Bobbywow, of fantasy points bonanza.
It could be.
Yeah. So you don't have to be scared. I'll play the running back and the wide receiver from the same team. I don't care.
You've got the Rams in win at all costs mode right now, which is the best possible thing for fantasy purposes. They are going to put up a crap ton of points, and they're going to do it in any and every way they can.
It's like
a fun time to be a Rams fan.
It's like a cornered goat. Unpredictable when you corner him.
With the personality of Sean McVay.
Yeah.
It's not a combo you want.
One time I was at Bryant Park or Washington Square Park in Manhattan. And I was with a bunch of friends, and we were kind of standing we were sitting around, and like they have these round circular benches, and a squirrel is standing there, and he's in the middle of us, right? And we're sitting in a circle, and the squirrel started to panic. He's looking left. He's looking, there's people everywhere just surrounding the squirrel. Squirrel goes into a panic, right? Next thing I know, the fucking squirrel loses its mind, jumps up on somebody's leg, runs across over the shoulder. Oh, squirrel touched me. It touched me, Bobbywow. It ran across me.
A squirrel rodeo.
A cornered squirrel. You don't want to corner a squirrel.
Lord have mercy.
You don't know what they're going to do. That's like the Rams team. They're like that squirrel. They fucking jump all over you and shit. You don't know what they're going to do. Seriously, I'm scared of squirrels ever since then. Yeah, it was really scary. It touched me.
It touched me.
It like ran across. I was like, oh, squirrel.
Is it still like hot to the touch in that spot?
I still think about it, and I was 21 when that happened.
Okay.
Now, in fairness, it was 7 a.m. and I had been out all night at a rave at Madison Square Garden. So who knows how much of what this story just came out was real.
I was going to say at this point, who knows if it even happened? Wow,
yeah, I'm not even 100%. I have to talk to the people who were there to see if that ever really happened. Savage, my man, 2-game slate. We're going to be all over this, but that is a Monday thing. So Monday we
exclude all Bears.
we do have a, what's that? Exclude all Bears?
You just missed the last half of the comment. How do I exclude all Bears? Hate the Bears.
Oh no, I'm not allowing that. No, we love the Bears. We love the Bears here on the Showdown Breakdown.
That's hilarious.
We love the Bears on the Showdown Breakdown. So yeah, I think when I look at FanDuel, I am not seeing a whole lot of reason to venture below like the kicker zone here with Cardi and Moody.
Yeah, no, probably not. I mean, you got, again, if Davis Allen is out, Colby Parkinson's interesting, but otherwise Pearsall would be the only other guy.
Yeah, Pearsall, I'll Parkinson, maybe Juszczyk, that, what he does could produce here.
On FanDuel, it's even tougher.
Where's that? Yeah, not Abakadanya. And they priced up Patrick Taylor as if he's starting. So yeah, they didn't leave us many options here. Tutu Atwell, not much of a touchdown scorer. Yeah, Ricky Pearsall, 7K.
Yeah.
Kyle Juszczyk can score a touchdown. Colby Parkinson could score a touchdown.
Keep an eye on Davis Allen's status.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pay attention to Davis Allen. But like, we don't have too much down there. So a lot of what's going to happen here, I actually kind of like this one again. I might do it. I might venture onto FanDuel again just because we won the last one, and do another 150. But it's never fun. The tie group is just not a fun thing.
I mean, look at this lineup. You're playing Garendo over Cooper Kupp.
That seems stupid, right?
That seems stupid to me. With Brock Purdy as your MVP, at least.
Yeah,
you're not taking
well, in this lineup, if you're trying to win, yeah, you're probably
put Kyron in there.
I get Puka in there is what I want.
And you pay down to you could play Deebo instead of Juwan.
Oh, this is the tournament winner, though, isn't it? This is how you win the tournament.
Deebo's 9,500. Oh my Lord.
Is this a tournament winner right here?
That's gotta be.
You know what? Let's see. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I think that's a tourney winner, but I think that's a lot of on FanDuel, the same thing. So
it's a little craziness. Yeah. Yeah.
We got to play some Deebo. I don't know how do you say these words that we're saying without then everybody commenting, fuck you. Why'd you tell me to play Deebo? He sucks.
Exactly.
After he stinks it up. I don't know the solution for that.
I think it comes down to this. If your goal is to take down a tournament and get first place in a tournament and not share, the best path to that point is by playing Deebo. That's your best shot. If you want to cash, if you're playing single entry, if you're playing, 3 max, 20 max, maybe 20, I'm probably not going Deebo as much. If you are not risk averse whatsoever, don't touch Deebo. Don't touch him. You don't have to. If you don't want to be risky, don't touch him. But if you want to take a shot at taking something down and you're willing to lose all your money, Deebo's your guy. Is that fair?
Couldn't said it better. Yeah, I mean, it's GPP only tournament tactic stuff, guys. You got to be careful when we're saying these things to understand that we're acknowledging first that Deebo has had a very bad year. So when we're saying those things, it's not like, oh my gosh, he's going to turn. We're just saying he's going to be low owned, and he's a guy that in the past has produced big scores. And you got to play like a 12, 15% owned guy like that, if that's what he's going to be, which it should be, or a sub 20% owned, and even very, very small ownership at captain. Then those are the kind of moves you have to make.
Yeah.
Now that being said, if I'm making a cash lineup, that guy is not in it at all. He's not even sniffing. I just showed you guys what a cash lineup looks like on the screen. So that's what a cash lineup. I'm taking the high floor guys. Puka's going to be in there, and
Garendo,
49ers starting RB. I don't even Garendo or whoever the hell it is. That guy is in my lineup. I want quarterbacks in my lineup. So it's just a different version if you want to play high floor for cash versus how am I going to win this? Especially FanDuel, where you saw last week, it was such an easy lineup to build, but it tied with a billion other people. And so it was an easy win, but didn't really pay off as much. It's like my video that I did with the coin tosses, like the game of coin toss. You keep winning, you win 80% of the time, but you're losing money against the guy who's only winning twice, 2 out of 10, because that dude is so contrarian that when he does win, he cleans up. So big. Just that note for this one. I think that's it, Bobbywow. We'll have the ownerships up probably later tonight for DFS Army subscribers. We'll have the ownerships up later. Guys, if you are a DFS Army subscriber, we have a big announcement coming this week involving our props team and our props plan. Primarily, we've added a whole bunch of stuff to the Proptimizer tool. It is getting crazy. Really leveled up the Proptimizer. We're launching it all this week at DFS Army. If you're not aware of what we do on props in DFS Army, I'm just gonna. I haven't mentioned this a ton this season, Bobbywow, but it does deserve a mention. Yeah, we've added. So we had Prize Picks and Sleeper. We've added Underdog, DraftKings Pick 6, Parlay Play, and Hot Streak. We got Better coming. We have some other ones coming as well. But what I really wanted to show you guys was what these guys are doing. If you've been in the DFS, if you're subscribed to DFS Army and you've just been in the props channel and following along with Will Lynn and Sniper and the plays they put out, because they give out the tickets for Prize Pick, Sleeper, Underdog.
Yeah.
Look at this, Bobbywow. Last 30 days, up 1,000. For 2024 year to date, up 17,000. All time, this goes back to last September, 2 football seasons, and NBA, up 27,000, a 10% ROI, which is really spectacular for sports betting in general. So these guys have been doing a great job. It is look at those tickets they give out. I mean, it's just a couple days.
And you've been talking about this. I mean, since two Septembers ago. This has been consistently winning. Clearly,
yeah. This stuff has been going on, but most importantly, they're super transparent about what they're doing. Even some of these bets. Okay, so these are all settled. Some of these are still open now. So like it's in there in the tracker. You can get on them later. But we don't know if these are wins or losses. These just haven't been graded yet. So, or some of these are graded, some of these aren't. But every single play is tracked, and it goes back years. You can scroll all the way down. You can see every play these guys have given out. So for DFS Army VIPs currently, and this is the announcement, we've added a bunch of stuff. Currently, VIPs can access this stuff. As of January 1st, this becomes its own standalone subscription. So if you're a DFS Army subscriber, you should be enjoying this, using this stuff. If you're into any of these games, Pick 6, Sleeper, Prize Picks, Underdog, any of those parlay, any of those pick'em games. This is something that's here. I don't mention it enough. These guys have been crushing it. So make sure to check it out in the Discord. There is a sport. The channel is called the Pick'em channels. in our Discord, and they're just dropping the plays there. They're all tracked and everything's great. Like I said, these guys have been winning consistently. Now it's going back 2 full years of data. This is predictive. It's hard to play every single one of these plays, but they're not putting out plays where you have to put up $1,000. Every bet is $10, $20, $30, $5, $10. So, and they are sized based on confidence. So a really great system. If you're somebody who likes making money, as I do, and betting with an edge and an advantage, the combination of the Proptimizer tool and the picks from Willin and Sniper are spectacular. Make sure to check it out. And if you're a DFS Army subscriber, DM me if you need to ask questions about it. But this is going to be an exclusive subscription starting January 1st. We've kept it mixed with VIP and subs, but now that the Proptimizer tool leveled up, it's competing with Sharp. So we have to the tool is actually so robust that it's enough for its own standalone subscription. It's really spectacular, quite a spectacular tool. So I hope everybody wants to check it out as well. Bobbywow and I will be back on Friday. Tournament Tactics, breaking down a spectacular 12-game main slate with one game to rule them all, Bobbywow.
Ooh.
One to rule them all.
Can't wait.
12 games to the realm of men. One to rule them all.
I love it.
It's coming on Friday. People that are VIP currently after January 1st are going to have the prop subscription. It's just where this tool comes from, where the data comes from. It's got to be its own standalone thing. So hit me up. We have discounts and all this shit for current VIPs. You don't have to sign up for the full price. We'll have a special version of it for VIPs, but yes, you will not have it after January 1st. You'll have to have a sub. So be aware. I'm making the announcement now. We'll have
an got Bo Nix shout outs for next week.
Whew. There we go. Let's go. All right. That's going to do it. Showdown breakdown, Thursday Night Football. We will be in the Discord as always.
Check out Madness Notes. Your VIP. Do not miss that cheat sheet. It's already ready to roll.
Yeah, full sheet of notes written up, and we will figure out what's going on with Garendo, Patrick Taylor, and all of that good stuff by tomorrow. We appreciate you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, notify, and we'll see you later in the week. Helmets up, everyone.